Divine Rise, Grand Rise, blessed be to the day. Great rising. On this day of wind. Day of Wednesday, the wind today, we know we ought to understand the night before. I was sitting here like, this is going to be a nice one. A nice length, that's why I waited. So when I came back from the gym, came back from my workout, it was core day. When I came back from my workout, I worked on quarter day. And whole core was on fire. So when I came home, did my usual thing, made my tea, got my tea together, got everything, got my other half of my smoothie with some ginger and everything in there. And I sat here, and I was just something that's the spirit just led me to that, like, yo, just listen to this. The music that's playing in the background, that's what I was listening to. This is what I'm listening to right now. And the message that came through for me was this thinking to myself, allowing it to come through, was clearing the table. Clearing the table. Allowing ourselves to clear the table. You cannot be thankful. Until you have become empty, you cannot truly be thankful. Because in being thankful, in being empty, you are now exposed to your truth. In being empty, you are now exposed to your truth. No matter what your truth may be, whether it may be an ugly truth about yourself, or it is a work in process, it's always going to be a work in progress. Your truth in this period right now, your truth for you, in this space where you're at right now, you need that space. You need that space. That's the card I pulled after I did it. You need that space so you can work on your consistency. It's time to check your consistency. What are you consistently putting on that table? What are you consistently adding to the table? A lot of us are so used to eating a certain way. A lot of us are so used to eating a certain way. A lot of us are so used to getting our energy a certain way. A lot of us are so used to taking in a certain amount of information a certain way. A lot of us are used to this aspect of gathering a certain way, following this transition, staying within that transparency of themselves. A lot of us are used to moving in this same pattern, fulfilling only what is not nurturing us. After a while, it's time to clear yourself. This is when you really start thinking about, how can I be thankful if I'm full? Really think about that. How can I be thankful if I'm full? It's only when I'm empty when I'm able to see what I am. It's only when I'm in a space of emptiness. It's only when I'm in that space of emptiness for myself that I see what I am. I can see where I'm at. I can gauge. I can build on. We get so used to being full. But we're so used, that table is so full, you got a full table in front of you. And some of it still may be good. It might be grandma's egg salad, whatever it may be. It may be good, but it's not good for you now. This is when you're in that space, checking your consistency. What are you consistently filling yourself up with? You can never tell because you keep just piling on top of it. So then when it comes time to actually use your energy, when it comes time to do that work, you first got to you're spending. This is what happens with a lot of people going to a detox, going to a fast, going to a moment where they have to be to themselves. They think the process of emptying themselves is the work. That's preparing you for the work. A lot of people think that the clearing of yourself, that's the work. That's preparing you for the work. I remember my first fast. I will never forget it. My little niece and my little sister wanted me to stay They were going to be at my mother's house. So they were like, can you be over here before Thanksgiving? I think it was like Christmas or Thanksgiving. It was Christmas. So I went over there and I was already doing my fast. And I was like, okay, cool. I will have enough time in my fast in this period in time for me to sit here and I can like dibble dabble and make my first vegan Christmas or whatever. That night, the toilet at my mother's house was yellow and orange. Everything that was inside of my body at that point in time came out. I was at the point where I was like shivering. My body was released. Everything left out. That was my sacrifice. That was the sacrifice. That was the starting part of the work. When you're doing your work, it's not the process of, the mental part is very important. Getting your mind right, getting yourself into the right mindset. But don't use your fast as your work. Don't make your fast the reason that you're doing your work. That should be adding to that should be added to your works. So if I'm fasting, in the first thought process of me fasting, why am I fasting? Why am I detoxing? I have to reinforce. Remember, we're reinforcing clearing ourselves out. I'm reinforcing it. That way, as I'm doing it, I'm not looking at it based upon something that's, well, man, yeah, I lost a lot of weight last time I fasted, or I did this. I'm not looking for anything on this lower. I'm trying to open myself up to something. What questions do I need to have answered for myself? What do I really need? I need to really check myself in this space right now. I haven't been checking myself. I've been sitting here just allowing myself to keep running wayward. And now I'm in a position where I'm tired. I'm in a position where I'm tired and restless at the same damn time. I'm tired and I'm restless at the same time. I'm overworked. I feel overworked and underwhelmed at the same time. Nothing is giving me the sense of excitement anymore. Nothing that I do, no matter what I'm reaching out for based on distractions, is not giving me the feeling that I need. It's time to clear yourself. You're sitting here in this space and you're just keep trying to add to what's in the space, but you're not maintaining and detoxing and cleansing the space. So now you're just putting things on top of things on this table. And now you're like, I'm thankful for everything that I have. But in reality, what do you really have? It's based on your need and want. So you have everything. You may have everything that you need and want, or a grouping of what you need and want. But the value goes down because now that you have it, what's next? What are you going to wait for? This is why you have the thought process of, Black Friday. You have the process of, you waited all year to spend, a TV was like $900 or whatever, and then they broke it down to like $300, and then you go and try to bust your ass to get it at this point over here for like $250 or $150 or $5, however much they break it down to, just so you can say that you did it. Being in this space with yourself. How many things, I said it, I was going to speak on it yesterday, but then I did it during the God Hour show. How many things are based on your stress, your worry, the things that you're thinking about in that space? It's time to clear that table. Your space, that stress and that worry that's on your mind right now. How much of that stress and that worry is on your plate by not being honest with yourself? How much stress and worry is on your plate by you not being honest with yourself? This is the key of your honesty to yourself. How much of your stress and your worry is on your plate that is based on you not being honest with yourself? You're overdoing something in certain places to maintain a tradition based upon whatever trauma or an event. you're underperforming in another area. Because if I'm overperforming in one area with my energy, if I don't have my energy in balance, that means I'm going to overdo in one area and I'm going to underdo in another area. I'm going to overdo in one area and I'm going to underdo in another area. Clearing your energy out. If I'm in a space and I'm always overdoing one thing over here, but I'm underdoing everything else over here, I'm undercutting myself, that's my imbalance. Now you're doing more over here, so the weight's heavier over here, and over here is suffering, so it looks like it's higher. The pile becomes higher. The work that you have to do becomes higher. This is deeper in aspects when you're doing your works and you're doing your internal work. You put all of your energy into what's over here behind you, that this mountain seems higher, but they're really at the same level. Because that's how you find your balance in that middle point. That's why that work in your beginning as you're working on yourself creates that space so you actually can bring yourself into balance. So you can actually start doing the shadow work. You gotta be in balance before you do the shadow, before you even start the shadow work. Or else everything over here is gonna seem bigger than it is. You always gonna want to lean back over here and revert. But as you're admitting, as you're accepting, as you start clearing out your space, this is when it comes to that point of you questioning everything in your life in the present based on that honesty aspect. Do I need this? Do I want this? Do I need this? Is this something that I need in my life? Is this something that I really need? I don't understand its purpose. If I don't understand its purpose, I'm letting it go. I'm setting it to the side. I'm giving myself that space until I understand it. Until I understand its purpose I understand its purpose in my space. I'm separating away from it. That way I can see what it can. I can see once I remove it. I can see the trigger of what it is. That's one of the. This is one of those super keys when it comes into your work. Yeah, you have to be thankful that in order for me to be thankful, I have to be empty first. In order for me to get new information, in order for me to feed and constantly be into the stream, I have to be empty first. This is why when people get information and I'm looking at it based on, if I'm looking at the information that I'm gathering into my space and I'm still full with something, what is that energy? What is that information going to connect to? That means I'm going to waste an entire meditation session. I'm going to use an entire manifestation session. I'm going to use an entire session of whatever I'm building with, and I'm going to pull that energy into something on the lower end to keep it in my space. So I never elevate into the ether. I'm stuck within time. My alignment to where I'm at is based upon me being within the ethers, in the energy, outside of the encompassing of time. So it don't matter when I say I'm going to do something. It doesn't matter when I said it. It's already, once I'm tapped into this space up here, in that energy, my ethers, all I have to do is wait for it. All I have to do is keep doing what I'm doing and watch it matriculate. Keep making the space. Keep clearing my table. Keep saying that I'm thankful as I keep clearing my table. I'm thankful that I'm able to even clear this table. I was thankful for what was on this table at this point in time. It's no longer feeding me. It's time to clear it away. I no longer need what's sitting on this table. Yeah, that pie was good, but it's not what I need to eat right now. This is where I need to be at. This puts you into the now point. This puts you into the now. But until you clear that table of remaining, not being honest with yourself, you keep letting things sit at the table that are not feeding you in any level. People say fill your own cup, but I always say this. First you have to empty it. Yes. Yes. Because what's already in there, yeah. That's literally like this thought process of filling up your own cup. Great. Love it. This process of filling up your own cup. Your cup can be overflowing, but if you're not checking what your cup is overflowed with, all of the all of the hate that you feel like you're getting from others, the betrayals, the negative shit that you feel is happening to you in your life, those are the ice cubes that are falling into your cup. So your cup can be overflowing. But now you got people giving you icy stares. You feel like people are hating you. You feel like people are not being fair to you in all this aspect. Now you just dropping ice cubes into that's how your cup's overflowing. So check what's in your cup first. I can't fill my cup until I first emptied it. I have to check what's inside my cup. That's like if I have a cup sitting somewhere on the counter somewhere and it's been sitting there for a couple of days, I'm not just going to pick that cup up and fill it with anything. I'm going to clean out my cup. I'm going to check my cup the same way you checking that cup. Like, let me wash this out real quick. Let me pay attention to this. But not only because this becomes your rotation and your consistency when you start checking your consistency. So you'll say to yourself, every Wednesday, middle of the week, in order for me to move forward, to be able to form myself into the love, because when you look at the days of the week, I had this came through the other day. Wednesday is the day that you're using to move past things, focus on things that you're going to move past. Thursday, the day of 10, the malleable metal. How am I forming myself in order to embrace the love of myself on Venus Day? What do I need to release on Saturn Day? What rings do I need to release myself from on Saturn Day? So on Sunday, I'm able to rise into my new changes when I come through the week, when I come through my cycle. Break cycles once you understand the spell, you're able to manipulate it to manipulate that shit to work for you. But you got to first understand what you're doing in your processes. Emptying that cup. What are you consistently filling your cup with? What are you consistently filling your cup with? I'm filling mine with tea and agave and some other handcrafted herbs. What are you filling your cup with? As you fill your cup, ask yourself, what are you filling your cup with? How are you feeling yourself? How are you feeling yourself? Are you feeling yourself, because I've said this before, are you feeling yourself in a state of being selfless? Or are you feeling yourself in a state of being selfish? Remember, selfish means to become. So I'm going to become this, or I'm going to become this great. I'm going to become this. I'm going to become the essence of this energy. I'm not becoming a part of something externally. I'm the essence of all. I'm becoming the essence of my next level of energy for myself, my learning, my abundance, and all that aspect, rather than being selfless. Some of you have a full table because you're being selfless. You're depending on others' perceptions, their perceptions and their vision of you to create your body. So now you're sitting in a space when you start allowing that shit to start falling away, and you're like, who am I? Who am I? I got this cup open. Now you're looking at the cup. Now you got place set. Now you're sitting in that space alone for the first time, allowing yourself to clear out, allowing yourself that space. Watch when you're sitting there in that picturing. When I picture this thought process to myself, when I was looking at all the aspects that's me. When I'm sitting in that space, I was sitting there looking. I felt like Nino Brown. And I'm sitting there. That was the vision that's the concept that I used. I was sitting there and I'm looking at this table, Last Supper, looking at the table, and I'm like, I got all these cups around this table. Each cup at my table, I have to keep trying to fill based on a perception of me being in that space. Now I have to keep maintaining that cup to be full. So when I go over there, even though nothing's coming there. So if I'm always doing the filling of everybody else's cup, putting everybody else in this position for whatever, I'm always distracted. Now I'm always going to be looking for something outside of myself to bring me into balance, to keep me charged, to make me happy, to make me peace, keep me at peace. I'm married to myself. I'm unified to I have to be unified to myself. 2 become 1. 4 become 2, become 1. That's the aspect of self. That's the aspect of you marrying and unifying yourself. Ask yourself, to yourself, when you in the mirror, yo, this is what I need to do. Ask yourself, ask your aspect from the masculine aspect of yourself. Sound like a dude. Create that mindset into your create that mindset in your mind. Create an entire image of what your masculine is. Give your masculine concept of yourself a body. Some of you feminine in the feet, some of you queens, y'all are in that space, so you don't even realize. Now you have to create the feminine body of work and be honest with that body of work. Be honest with your feminine aspect, the feminine aspects and what parts are wounded. Create that body. Strip that body of everything you're gonna, and this is the process, you're gonna be stripping that body. Yep. I had to feel that lesson. That cup. Feeling it. Everybody, nah. Then at the end of the day, you're like, I don't have any myself. But like, are you sitting there in that space and you filling up your cup? Not filling up your cup. And you're sitting there and you created these 2 archetypes. Look at them. Now you're going to see how they're connecting. Because the wounded connects to the wound. The wounded and the wounded always propel each other away. So now when you start seeing where you keep separating or not wanting, you can't come to terms with this, that's where you're going to see, now you're seeing this point, and it's a process. You're seeing these 2 points and why they don't connect, but you're seeing what outside of you gives you that charge. You're seeing what's outside of you gives you that charge. That's that deep rooting into your looking at that table around you. And that's what I do. That's what I do. Like when we breaking you down, get you in that space, that healing process. If you're like, I don't know. All I can do is promise you it's going to make everything is going to make sense. Everything is going to come to the surface, but it's in order for you to embrace that energy, you have to be open with yourself. You got to be real with yourself. Once you said it to yourself and you wrote it down, what are you doing next? How are you accepting this? The key to the first thing that you're going to have to accept, period, is how you benefited from the trauma, whether known or unknown. How did you deal with the trauma? How did you benefit from the trauma? Because then this is going to help you be able to observe and see others and how they benefit from the trauma. So now you can see it. Like, damn, they benefited from this by them not talking about it. Let's look at how they look in their life. And that becomes the reflection of you looking like, damn, I might be doing the same shit. You start seeing those wounded aspects of yourself in your wounded masculine, your wounded feminine. You start seeing how they don't connect. And then you start seeing how you create that tether out to something to bring you that energy back into you. This goes into the aspect of I did the episode when I was talking about people 25 going on 8 years old for like the 6th time. People are like 42 going on 6 for the first time. Once again, they keep repeating that same long ass cycle. That's why their life feels so long. A quantum leap is instantaneous. So me thinking it's already there. Some of them cannot see the quantum leap and just be able to leap freely into the space because you still connected to something way back here in the old cycle. So if I'm right here right now, but my mindset, my mentality, my behaviors are stuck on something back here, when that shit cycle back around, when that high, now I'm feeling the high of it, now I go into that low moment, Think of everything else that I'm treading off the ocean floor of my life. Think of everything else I'm treading off of that ocean floor. Think about that. You bringing all this into your front space. That's why your life feel heavy. Remember, when you in that light, when you're in your darkest period of time, you're in the most sustained form of light, the most burnt out of aspect of light. That's why you can't see anything or do anything clearly. That's why you got to close your eyes and go home to yourself and sit there and be like, I really need to start shedding tears to myself. Because you got to go into the dark to realize that. You got to clear the table. Last night while I was dancing, I came up with an idea for dancing away my trauma, which I do is very healing. Maybe that can be mine. Yeah, like that's your ability to create. Now that you have that thought process, you now reinforce that and make that you're creating that. Like last night I was thinking about I want to make a mirror room for deep reflection therapy. An entire room of mirrors. Even the floor is kind of mirror. Somehow I'm gonna do the floor and light mirrors. So you see in every angle of yourself in front of you to the lights and everything to that level. Yeah, that is delicious. But I want you to be excellent. I want you to take this time. If you don't have 20 minutes, take an hour. If you don't have 20 minutes, take an hour. If you don't have an hour, take 6. Give yourself the time. You deserve it. Give yourself the time because you deserve it. This is how you grow your desire. I said it last night in the video last night. Your value is only based, your desired effect is only based on the value that you set for yourself. Value is based on quality. Desire is based on quality. Need and want is simply based upon quantity. Me as a service in any space with my energy, I can set my price. I can set my price because I understand, fully aware, and can reinforce my value of what I'm able to do with my energy in any space, in any given time. My shit ain't based upon need and want. I'm more and more, me becoming the androgynous, the God aspect, you're becoming one of one. That's how you start to connect to another one of one. And then because one and one become one. But you got to be unified. You have to unify yourself in that space first. Stop allowing yourself to project the fears in those thought processes. This time's clearing that table. Give yourself the space to actually check your consistency out. Some of y'all are still finger licking good to the stuff that no longer. Yeah, that was a Constantine reference. Some of y'all finger licking good to the shit below you. You finger licking good. That's why they keep coming to you. You think that they're there because like, oh my God, you're so smart and you're so funny and no. You're easy pickings. Stop trying to be light. I said that last night in the video during the God Hour show. That being light, I got to a point to where everybody that once hated me at a point in time, based on my transition, now that I have an understanding of myself, they have an understanding of me. That doesn't mean that we cool. That we're still cool. Like, it's still a body of love, but it's like we just understand we in two different spaces. That's that reflection aspect. But until I do that point, and that's what we're getting into on Friday, during parlor tricks, understanding them ego traps. You can get to a point in yourself, in your journey, because you're worried about the result. So you might, I started doing yoga. Oh, you don't do yoga? Ew. Or you don't do this? Ew. So now you have to transcend through that point to be able to understand why they don't do yoga. You got to go through all the steps first. Not just say, yay, I'm vegan. Yay, I'm this. Because now what does it mean for you? Oh man, because it's healthy for my body and my... That's the run-of-the-mill answer. Give me some depth. Ego traps is where most people are getting the deep motherfuckers to get them locked into. I want you to be the fucking best. Everything from the readings to the natal chart analysis to setting up that consultation, that shadow work consultation, chakra therapy, so many other things. But yeah, exactly. That deep reflection therapy, yeah. I want to take whatever we're doing in the side of this space, I want you to take it to the next level. The information and the light codes that are coming down in your space are meant for you to take it to the next level. But in order for you to use that light, you got to go into the dark. I give the aspects, shout outs to Bobby Hemmett, Panic, Phil Valentine, and many of the elders that brought me into the darkness. That brought us into the darkness. Now that you in the darkness, what you doing in here? Either you building or you just standing over there in a corner or in a makeshift corner because you afraid to move because you might get somebody might get in your way. Can't nothing get in your way once you in the dark. Once you embrace it, once you love it, once you move forward with it. Allow yourself the space to grow. Allow yourself to inspire either elevation or separation. I want you to be the fucking best. Readings, consultations, co-alchemy.myshopify.com, Lucifer Insomnia's the Cash App link. I want you to be the fucking best. I just wanted to get this out there to you. Share this video. Let the knowledge do what it's supposed to do. Yeah, shout out to the elders. Cause without the elders, without the elders parenting the knowledge, the feminine aspect cannot nurture the energy of that knowledge to bring you to where the fuck you at. Without our elders parenting the knowledge, we cannot do the work to embrace and bring ourselves to where we at. But now that you in this space, it's time to do that work. Break that shit down and allow your stuff to come up. I want you to be the fucking best. Might come up here a little bit later, I don't know yet. But I love you. We love us. Ashe.